creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
The release of more than 1,700 prisoners has begun across England and Wales as part of an emergency bid overcrowding in jails.
Over the coming hours, some offenders who served 40% of their sentences will be released. The government says it will free up 1,500 more prison spaces in the next few months.
Wow, it's to replace people with people who post stuff on Facebook.
Oh my god, say it's not true. And you guys still listen to her? After all that she's done? Oh wait, you guys don't know. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. Though it'll ruin your opinion on her, and will make you change what you believe. Now it's no trade secret that without yin, there can't be yang. With darkness comes light. And the more and more you dive down into the rabbit hole of what's good and evil, you find out that people wear the masks of good, but deep down inside they're truly evil. And Taylor Swift is no exception. We all know celebrities hold this persona when in front of a camera, hence why people are shocked when off camera they're completely different than what they thought they were. Now Taylor Swift, if I told you she was Hollywood's puppet, would you believe me? If I told you that she sold her soul and now she's trying to influence her audience to do the exact same?
Did you guys know that Taylor Swift has a video in which she buries her old self only to be resurrected as someone who worships the serpent? In her video for Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor can be seen talking on the phone, telling someone the old Taylor can't talk because she's dead, while wearing the ring of a serpent.
The soul is belong to God, not yours. Satan tricks you thinking he can sell your soul.
Lucky to have this job. No, you're lucky I show up. Mentally, I'm always 10 seconds away from quitting and leaving a cartoon me-shaped hole in the wall, so count your blessings. I work, you pay. It's an exchange, not a prize. That's why they give away new cars on Wheel of Fortune and not part-time jobs at Planet Fitness. We haven't quite gotten to that episode of Black Mirror yet. Luck is finding a $20 bill on the ground, not working a 10-hour shift, getting underpaid, and then still having to hope to find a $20 bill on the ground. More rates like that in my book, The Customer's Always Wrong, hardcover and audiobook out September 10th. Link in my bio to pre-order copy and a signed book plate.
Who noticed this guy is always right? By the way, love the stats, bro.
Clubbing in the 2000s. Line, bouncer, club. Exits, Webster Hall, Copacabana. If you all met in the line, you're not getting in. Even with your diesel shoes. We used to keep church shoes in our trunks. If you do get accepted to get in, you're getting frisked head to toe. Now you got to scream at a bartender while your friend taps you to look around. Now, if you see a girl you're interested in, you will approach her from behind and rub your you-know-what on her backside. It was the 2000s. It was weird times. Now, if her friends are like, oh, he's cute, she would throw it back. He would dance like this the whole night. If a friend pulls away, you got rejected. Exits was so packed, you just walked with the crowd. Limelight, in a church, a lot of bad things happen in it. Webster Hall is everybody's first club with multiple rooms. Copa was after the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and the tunnels where you want to get robbed. And quarters, SOBs, BB Kings.
When I used to drink, I'm more like a bar kind of guy, not a fan of club.
Mexico, this radar picked up this image.
Hold on.
What? And it looks exactly like the Hadron Collider.
CERN.
Yeah, CERN. Like almost identical. But apparently there's over 30,000 particle accelerators in operation around the world.
What's a particle accelerator?
The
For the
CERN.
audience who don't know.
It's the CERN.
Yeah, but what does it do? Remind me.
It's to find the God particle. Basically,
Has what implications? What?
Just go watch our first episode.
I remember talking about it with you guys, but what does it do?
like they think the God particle is the particle that it would make up like dark matter and
Evil?
not necessarily evil, but like this particle that we don't understand. It makes up
Infinite.
everything.
They're just dabbling in the dark arts.
Yeah.
Literally trying to become God, which has
Yeah.
always been a good thing. When we try to become God, good things happen.
Good things happen.
Always
Nope.
have, always will.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Don't do that.
Just live your life the way you're supposed to.
As a man, as a mortal, not as a god.
Alright, calm down.
Wake me up inside. Call my name and save me from
from the dark.
That poor man has never had peace since 2020. Who was taking a video in hell?
Nikocado Avocado has a secret account with even more lore. And this is what it is. Huge shout out to Brandon Connor for finding it. But it's called Skinny Nicholas Perry. And Nicholas Perry is Nikocado Avocado's real name. And you best believe I followed because I'm a consumer, I'm an ant, I'm whatever Nikocado Avocado calls me. But like just a couple hours ago, that was his first video, 568,000. The algorithm loves him because like, look, 279,000, 1.1 million. You best believe there's going to be some lore dropping on just this backup account alone. And then as I was seeing that, somebody tagged me in this photo. Guys, he wasn't lying. So everybody's saying that his weight loss was just him from the past. It's not. That's him now with fans. He's actually meeting fans. I mean, the lore goes crazy. And if you want to see that photo that's on Walk Down Serum, and she was saying the lighting is atrocious, but I mean, it's Nikocado Avocado. This is him now. He's lost all of his weight. The conspiracy theories, just throw those out of the way, because you know what's even more interesting than conspiracy theories? The freaking lore. Nikocado Avocado is always 2 steps ahead. Always. He's even wearing a shirt saying Super Mario. What kind of lore do we have off of that? But anyway, Skinny Nicholas Perry, go follow. His first video, was a day ago. And what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and follow. And we are watching Ball News.
Am I the only one that think he looks sickly?
You know why witches succeed in bewitching you?
Ooh.
They have spiritual dedication, discipline, and determination. When a witch wants something done on you, she will fast for you depending on how big that something is. It goes from 6 months to 8 months. She will change her entire diet. She will take a vow of celibacy. She will take a vow of silence or a vow of few words. She will isolate herself from society and her family. The aim is to conquer the body and let the spirit take over. Before she takes on all those vows, she would have done a thorough investigation of your life. She would have sent monitoring spirits to your house. It could be ants, it could be flies.
Ooh.
To see your daily life, what you do during the weekend, what you do during the week. Then she looks for you spiritually, checking how strong you are spiritually. When she finds that you are weak, she is going to look for your strong points. Who are your strong points? It could be your wife, it could be your mother, it could be your brother. And then she is going to separate you from that person. There is going to be war between you and your wife. There's going to be war between you and your siblings or your parents. Then she takes the vows. While you and your siblings, you and your wife are fighting for no good reason, she is preparing herself. When her spirit is ready, that's where the heart comes in. What are your heart's deepest desire? Are you a jealous person?
Ooh.
Are you a bitter, angry person? When your spirit awakens within you, your commands become a reality. So she will decide what she wants to do with your life. Here you are, when your pastor tells you to fast for 90 days, you find it to be a difficult job. When you are told to be celibate for your spiritual purposes, you give reasons why you cannot be celibate. Or my anxiety goes high when I don't have sex. Or my health issues do not allow me to fast for that long. But you complain when life becomes difficult. These people are very opportunistic. They work on the decisions you take. That one time you decided to kill a dog just for fun.
Ooh.
That one time you decided to have an abortion. That one time you decided to steal. That one time you ran over somebody and then you ran away.
What?
You can cover yourself with the blood of Jesus all day, all night. If you don't put efforts in it, it is meaningless. What a witch can do, you can do. What a witch did to you, you can undo. It's all about dedication, discipline, determination, and focus.
May we walk in obedience of God at all time. All glory to God.
What the hell was that? Go back, look at that video, look at the water. What the hell was that?
I don't get it. Please explain.
Somebody did this TikTok where they talked about they have a theory that if you really liked history and excelled in it in schools, that you were also a really good gossiper.
Oh.
Like they said that literally, only because it's just like, hey, did you hear that this person?
I loved history and I was really good at it.
You're literally learning all of the good and bad about this person's personal life. And then you're just sharing it with people.
Yeah.
And the only reason you don't feel bad is because they're dead.
Did you hear what Genghis Khan did to like the majority of the world? He was like really not cool.
Richard Nixon, right? Apparently he's up to some really shady things.
But you didn't hear from me.
Hey, well, speaking of The Flash, like I watched The Flash last night.
What? Yeah.
It was trash.
Scale of 1 to 10.
4. And that's only because I saw Keaton. If Keaton was not in that movie, that's a 0 movie. And we had one time to bring back Keaton, and we screwed it up. But Michael Keaton's great at being a Bruce Wayne. Okay, let's rank our Batmans right now.
Christian Bale, Rob Pat, Ben Affleck, Keaton.
Where's
Ben
Clooney?
I didn't know Clooney was one of them.
Val Kilmer.
A month before heart attack, your body will warn you with these 5 signals. Do not ignore any of them. Number 1, toothache. Occasionally, a heart attack can present as a toothache or pain in the jaw. This can be especially confusing if there are no other dental issues present. Number 2, throat or jaw pain. Pain can sometimes radiate to the throat or jaw. This is more common in women and can be mistaken for other conditions like a dental problem. Number 3, upper back pain. Some people experience pain or discomfort in the upper back, which can feel like a deep, intense pressure or a sharp pain. Number 4, sleep disturbances. Changes in sleep patterns, including difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, can be an early warning sign, particularly in women. Number 5, aching in the left arm or shoulder. While pain radiating to the left arm is commonly recognized, an aching sensation that doesn't go away can also be a subtle sign of a heart attack.
And if you go to the emergency with these symptoms, they send you home.
Have you ever seen a goat eating mice or chicks? Although it's very rare, those familiar with goats know that they eat grass only because they lack the ability to hunt. To survive, they choose to eat grass, but goats can also catch mice, rabbits, and chicks.
No way.
If these animals are not available, they will even eat small animals like snakes and lizards. This proves that goats are not strictly herbivores. Some people even say that goats are evil incarnate, which is why they eat small animals, unlike other herbivores.
No, why
In fact,
are you feeding the goat?
if herbivores have access to meat, they will choose to eat it. This is similar to pandas in China, which also eat meat when available but primarily consume plants due to their limited hunting abilities. To supplement their diet, goats may even start eating chicks. Goats eating chicks is like you chewing gum. They just can't stop.
That's just wrong.
Unfortunately for the chicks, they can only pray not to be eaten by the goats. So why do you think goats eat small animals?
Oh, man. What the vegans gonna say about this?
Please don't be here. Please don't be here. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Albert.
Albert.
It's cold outside and I didn't mean to be late.
That's gotta be AI.
Welcome back to the Lookout Series, our boys. I don't need to say much here. Look, there's no way I'm coming back to my house after a long day of work and a pet named Albert, a grown man named Albert, is staring me down like this as if I'm in his home. No, sir. You, first of all, who names their cat Albert? Now that I'm looking at him, this is Einstein. Einstein in a cat form. That's why you name him Albert? Albert Lugau Einstein the second of his name. You got a Lugau in your house, mad at you because you're coming home late. Does he pay the bills?
No.
And you apologizing to Lugau? He gotta pay. He claims you on his taxes. That's what's going on. I know tax season. Oh, I see what's going on now. Proceed, sir. What you still got him in your house for?
He's like, why did you bury me in Pet Cemetery?
This is how they attack us with toxic
But
metals.
what about a detox for your face? If you wear makeup, one New York City doctor says you probably need one.
Fox 5's Liz Dahlem checked out the procedure. Here it is.
I'm just going to ask you to open and close a few times, please.
Sheila McCaffrey sits for a few hours hooked up to an IV once a week.
A little bit of tension.
She's getting chelation therapy, which helps remove toxic heavy metals from the body. Sheila has been diagnosed with high levels of lead, aluminum, and mercury. She believes the main culprit has been her favorite beauty products.
So what I use is face cream. I use lipstick, lip pencil, concealer, eyeshadow, mascara.
Any issues, any side effects?
Sheila's physician, Dr. Salerno, says makeup companies aren't required to list contaminants on labels.
They can affect our nervous systems. They can cause fatigue. They can cause headaches, dermatitis, problems with reproduction.
So you might be thinking, I don't use that much makeup, and how worried do I have to be? Well, doctors say the average woman absorbs about 5 pounds of makeup
5 pounds.
into her skin every year.
The skin, being the largest organ in the body, is absorbing these heavy metals. And on a continual basis, it will accumulate.
Patients like Sheila are...
This is just another way they are attacking us with harmful toxic metals such as arsenic, lead, cadmium, and mercury. They said roughly 5 pounds of toxic metals are soaked and absorbed through the skin yearly. That is insane. Again, the skin is the biggest organ on the body, so you're putting this right on your body, goddesses. As I expressed, utilization of cilantro and chlorella is a natural chelation therapy formula. Again, heavy metal chelation using cilantro and chlorella can naturally remove an average of 87% of lead, 91% of mercury, and 74% of aluminum from the body within 45 days. As the doctor stated, these big makeup companies do not make you aware of the toxic ingredients that you are applying to your skin.
Money doesn't exist. Stop worrying about making money and worry about freeing your mind from this physical body, from this realm. Your consciousness can go higher than physical matter. It's mind over matter. Your body is a piece of technology which runs a simulation to your consciousness, your mind. And your mind is experiencing the technology of the body. You don't experience the world, you experience your body. Your brain and central nervous system is running this simulation. The word matrix means womb because the body is a womb where you can free your mind from this body and be born again. That's why Jesus says you must be born again to see the kingdom of God. You born again when you raise your consciousness outside of this body, but you can't free your mind from this body if your mind is attached to the character. Money, school, worries, bills, Netflix, TikTok, dopamine addictions to your phone and dopamine addictions to food. This is keeping your mind stuck in a three-dimensional way of thinking. You can't leave this body and free your mind from this realm, from this matrix. If your mind is stuck in these three-dimensional pleasures, you must cast off the bondage. You must cast off the emotional attachments. This is the only way to escape the matrix and have full control over your consciousness and your mind. If you don't have control over your mind, you are a slave to this realm. You are a slave to the govern your mentality, your mind. It's mind control to keep your mind stuck in this physical realm. Everything in this physical realm is to keep you addicted to external physical things. The elites worship the physical realm because there is nothing in the universe like physical pleasure. This is what is happening, people. They're trapping your minds in physicality. This book will literally explain everything to you. It's on sale, 40% off. Use the code WISDOM, all capital letters. You're gonna feel so much better when you know this stuff.
The face of a... Not that I want to buy your books or your products. If money don't exist, make all your products free. Talk is cheap.
Creature not from this dimension was spotted by eagle-eyed viewers during a news report on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The creature looks to be very interested in what was going on inside the reporter's own home. The reporter's home is surrounded by a forest, and it's winter, as there is a deep bedding of snow outside. The creature just appeared at the window, and its face is pressed right up to the glass. This is insane footage. Observe.
You know, that looked like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hollywood is heading towards some very shaky and turbulent times. Here's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Shows are just not being greenlit. They're not as frequent anymore. This is not just a fluke thing. The industry itself is in turmoil. A lot of people are having different reactions to this. Some are just heading towards the exits, looking to change careers, and there's other people in a state of denial, just hoping that the bad times pass. And then I think there's finally some people that are getting so desperate, they're ready to light matches and burn the whole place to the ground. Where exactly are we heading then? There's two noticeable things that are happening right now between the studios and the networks. Number one, they're all in sync. All of them are not buying. It's not like one company is doing a lot of production while another company is not. They're all simultaneously have slowed down at the exact same time. Number two, so far we have heard nothing from the studios or the streamers in terms of what direction they're heading, what's their strategy, where are they going forward. All we're hearing are just projected optimism that sometime at some point in the future that this is all going to return to normal. But the truth is, I don't think it is. The eyes of consumers are no longer fixated on one central place. The whole point of television was to get you to watch commercials. The shows were just fodder in between. But now, people are on YouTube, people are on social media, people are all over the place. And it's tough for companies to figure out exactly how they market to their consumer. So that leaves the question, what is going to happen to all these creatives? The executives at studios and networks don't make the content. The creators do. And the one thing I could tell you about creators, being one myself, we're all storytellers, and the need for storytelling is not going to change, but the medium is going to change. I think we're going to see a lot of filmmakers, a lot of creators, a lot of producers start making their own content outside of the studio market.
Zach, can you speak?
Hollywood should have left politics out of it and just make good content. What do you think?
Speak on why it's important to retain your semen? Yes, so if you retain your semen, your stem cell production goes insane. Your stem cell production goes up, your cellular repair goes nuts. Like, if you really want to heal yourself as a man, semen retention. Don't squander your essence. I promise you right now. Give yourself 3 months of semen retention, fasting and eating clean, and just after the three months, check out how you feel. This is just like from a historical and everything that I've learned through like tantra and sexual exchange, energy exchange. Women, if your man is eating clean, swallow your man's seed. And men, there's a secretion that a woman releases, swallow that. So that's the real intimacy part. The closest to God you will come is with a woman in her divine feminine, a man in his divine masculine. For a man, it does something for him, and for a woman, it does something for her. Everything that I've studied, there's a divine purpose for intimacy, and nothing is meant to be squandered. Retain for 30 days. There is no use retaining after 8 days for physical health. Beyond that, it is spiritual. Absolutely. It's like your energy's just like, and women see it. When you're walking around and you're like, you are full to the brink of fucking eruption. Dude, I felt like I could win a UFC championship. Exactly. You feel unstoppable. Self-control is attractive, absolutely. As a man, you gotta, like, when you get into a state of profound, like, knowing, you don't question yourself, it's one of the most attractive things that women will see. Like, a woman doesn't want a man who questions himself.
Let me know how you feel about this one, folks.
This video with me. If you've ever claimed to be a Christian, this video could be about you. Let's play it.
Let me ask you a question. What would you say is the farthest distance in this room? You say from floor to ceiling, door to door, wall to wall? I would say the furthest distance in this room is about 12 to 14 inches. That's how far it is from the head to the heart. He's going, you may know facts about God, but that does not mean that you are his child. You may know the book, but you don't know the author. You know what breaks my heart? Is that heaven and hell are separated by 12 to 14 inches.
Ooh.
Tasting God's goodness versus tasting God's wrath is separated by 12 to 14 inches. Just because you know facts about God, that does not mean it's traveled down to your heart so that you actually trust him.
True statement. The devil knows the Bible front to back. That's how he traps us. Just because you know the Bible, it doesn't mean anything.
I told you, you are inside Area 51. This shows all the scariest unsolved mysteries and theories from around the world. Now, if you're easily scared, please just keep on scrolling right now. Trust me, this is your final warning. Part 1, Area 51, but not how you think. Trust me, First of all, let's go right back. I'm sure you all know what Area 51 is, right? Well, no one really does. Area 51 is a giant theory in itself. What is going on there? Why is it so heavily guarded? And of course, the other big theory is aliens. Do aliens exist? You know, what's going on there? Of course, Area 51 is extremely heavily guarded. You can't just get into it. In fact, if you go within a certain radius of the place, you just get absolutely creamed. Now, this guy right here is Bob Lazar. You may have heard of him. Now, Lazar claims that back in the 80s, he was working at Area 51 to reverse engineer alien spacecraft. Yes, I mean, that's pretty crazy in itself. This is one of his drawings of it. This where it gets crazy again, because this is Area 51, right? And this right here, that's Area 51, right? But it's not. Bob said all the work doesn't actually happen at Area 51. It's kind of like a distraction. Whereas this place, Area S4, is where everything happens. Now, if you go out and zoom into this place, you can't drop a pin anywhere, nowhere. Now, it's clear this looks like some kind of either mining area or, like, bombs have gone off. And in this area, there is, you know, quite a lot of stuff going on that we don't actually know what it is. But in one of the mountains around here, apparently there's a road that just goes up into the mountain, it ends, there's like a tunnel, and it doesn't go anywhere else. Apparently, nothing goes on in Area 51, it's in Area S4, just a few miles away, and that's where everything actually happens. But what's the second theory? Because this is interesting. I'm not saying I believe this by any means, this is literally just theories for entertainment purposes only, so this, don't say I believe it because I'm not saying I do. Theory, quite a lot of people are starting to believe now, is that Area 51, nothing actually goes on there. We are actually inside Area 51 right now, and the reason it's so heavily guarded that we can't go there is because that's actually the escape to basically the real world. So yeah, have a think about that. We're literally at the top of this list, and it's going to get pretty wild, so make sure you hit that follow button. See you in the next one.
Body fat percentage in the 30s.
Say so.
To now
18.6. What? What?
And how much muscle did you lose, Steve?
Zero.
How much did you gain, Steve?
Gain 1.2 pounds of muscle. I'm 66. Gaining muscle is not supposed to be happening.
It's not easy.
But you took my gene work and you looked at my genes and you were telling me stuff about me that I don't know how you knew, because I didn't give you medical reports.
No.
You just been looked at the gene.
Right.
And you said, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong, this is what you have, this is what you have. And you started supplementing, what do you call it?
We started supplementing for a specific deficiency in your body. And it was almost every other week I was talking to you and you were like, man, I am sleeping so much better. I got so much more energy at the office.
The main thing you taught me that I really learned was there is no one fix for everybody. You could take this type of vitamin D and it'll do you nothing. I've been taking vitamin D pills and my vitamin D was like a 19?
Yeah, 19. It was
Critically
half
low.
the lowest end of the range. Triglycerides were elevated. They're normal now. Insulin was in the pre-diabetic range. That's normal now. Your healthy cholesterol is elevated. Your lethal cholesterol is down. The blood pressure last time we took it had normalized. Clearly the abdominal obesity is going away. You went from 5 of 5 to 0 of 5.
$5.99. How do people with average incomes get access to this valuable information?
Did you say something about school shooting?
You are about to witness the chilling body cam footage of school shooter suspect, Colt Gray, and his father getting interviewed by police last year after an online threat.
Do you have weapons in your hands? I do. Are they accessible to him? They are.
In 2023, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office were notified by the FBI of an online user on the chat room platform Discord, making threats to shoot up a middle school tomorrow.
Ooh.
The FBI led the police to Colin Gray's house, where Colt was living.
Hey, how are you? Are you calling? I am. You want to step out where you can talk real quick? You got a son or something that you know what Discord is? So we got a tip from the FBI saying that somebody from your old address, their conditions, they made a threat to shoot up the school. Yes, sir. And your name was associated with that address. So we went up to that address and you weren't living there. So let me get dressed. Sure.
Bizarrely, Colin answered the door in his underwear, and officers were left confused of the initial interaction as they stood outside whilst he got changed.
We came out there and checked it out.
Sorry, boys.
That's all right.
Sorry, I got up watching the golf tournament, sat back down.
That was it.
Yeah.
So what? Tell me what.
You have any kids or anything living here?
Yeah, Colt Gray.
Colt?
Yeah, Colt. He's my oldest son.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Play a lot of video games and stuff?
Yeah, he does. Like all the time.
Is he here right now?
Yeah.
Can you talk to him?
Yeah, absolutely. get all red face when you talk to him. Just calm. All right. So him and his. Let me give you a backstory. So
Before Colin is able to get Colt to speak with the cops, he tells them that he has had problems with the law before, after him and his wife split up the year prior, resulting in Colt struggling at school.
Colt and I rented a house here. So we've been good, like no problems.
Let me ask you this: do you have weapons in the house?
I do. They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded. We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year. Yeah.
All right, well, if you want to grab them?
Yeah, y'all talk.
Or we can go in. It's
all cool. Hang on.
What information do you have?
These are good dudes. Just they're
Hey Colt, what's going on, bud? So did your dad kind of explain everything to you?
Said something about shooting up a school.
Did you say something about school shooting?
I just told him, I don't know what. Maybe they misheard somebody else. I would never say that.
You never ever said.
No, I swear.
Do you use Discord?
Discord?
Yes, sir.
I used to. I don't have it.
When's the last time you used it? And I mean, I'm not trying to get anybody hemmed up, but like this is some serious stuff.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he knows how serious it is. Trust me.
Because God forbid something happened, I didn't do my job. I'd feel pretty bad about this. So I just want to make sure you understand that if something like that happens, or you hear something like that, report it. Yeah. Tell your dad, tell teacher.
Like I told him, I would promise I would never say something.
So you haven't used Discord in a few months, and you're saying you didn't say anything.
No, the only thing I have is TikTok, but I just go around there and watch videos.
Okay. After saying that, he didn't make any comments of the sort that the FBI pointed out. Cops left the property and logged that they had spoke to him. Fast forward a year later, Colt and Colin Gray are currently in custody after Colt allegedly killed 4 and left 9 injured in a school shooting. With Colt currently facing 4 counts of murder, Colin faces murder charges and are both looking at facing life in prison.
And the mom called the school the morning of and told them he was going to do this.
White women, if you're wearing a wig, there's something wrong with you. But you're sick or you have a problem of something. White women just don't wear wigs for fashion or fun or daily wear. They just don't. So for white women, if you have extensions and you put hair inside your hair, you'll brag about it all day long. Oh, I got my extension. Oh, look. You put something on top of your head, shame immediately. Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. So you don't have a white woman going, you know those aren't her breasts. You know that's a wig. All of a sudden, there's judgment. Oh. It's different for white women. And so the emotion for the majority of my clients, which again, I work with all races, but for white women, traumatizing.
Really?
Oh.
We have a good time. The black girls, we love the wigs.
A thing that I have to therapist.
Oh, I like that term.
My clients through. God forbid that anyone should ever know it's a wig. And the majority of my clientele is chemotherapy. Yeah. So they come in before they even start treatment most of the time, figure out what to order. And so then I recreate someone where they are and then customize it for them to leave.
Women, let me know how you feel about this in the comment.
You guys do know that the sprinkle lady is a witch, right? Like she is a full...
Why do you people continuously allow yourselves to be spiritually and physically colonized? Stop. 1, the demonization of paganism and witches is the demonization of women. Paganism is a female-oriented spirituality, religion, practice, okay? It is female-centric, okay? And that is why the church demonized it. And everything that you celebrate in your daily life, from your birthday candles to the days of the week to your holidays, is pagan. Because Christianity is like the giant white dude that saw the group project, did none of the work, then slapped his name over everything, all right? I got no beef with Jesus. Jesus was a great man, and you all portray him dirty. You did him dirty. 1,
Like
he's
what?
the son of a pagan. You can do the deep dive on that, because the Virgin Mary, really, Mary was a priestess. She was a part of a priesthood that if you were raped, right, your consent has to be given for you to lose your virginity. And if that was taken from you, you are still considered a virgin. You go through a cleansing ritual and you are still considered a virgin. That is why Jesus was born to a perceived virgin, okay? 2, you do blood rituals every Sunday, honey pie. Every Sunday, you're doing a blood ritual. The blood of Christ, you're telling me that the priest told you to drink the blood of Christ and eat his body and you didn't go, that's a blood ritual. Nothing wrong with that. Do whatever ritual you want, but that's a blood ritual, okay? Father, Son, Holy Spirit, yeah, that was appropriated from maiden, mother, crone. Okay, are the dots connecting for you? And normally I got kid gloves, right? Normally I am patient and I will sit down with you and I will hold your hand when I tell you this. But I had to do this the other day, and I'm surrounded by religious fanatics that refuse to educate themselves and continuously demonize their mother. Christianity stole everything, turned around and killed its own mother. Because there is a lot that Christianity takes from paganism. Okay, and you all continuously demonize it. Christmas, okay, Jesus was a May baby, May or June, okay? That's a summer, spring baby, all right? The only reason you celebrate Christmas in December is because that's when the winter solstice is. That's when pagans celebrate what we call Yule, okay? Your Christmas tree, it's a Yule tree. That's a Yule log. The only reason you celebrate it in December on the winter solstice is because Christianity during the Crusades wanted to convert all the pagans. And they said, hey, look, we celebrate these things at the same time. Isn't that so convenient? Come celebrate our holiday instead to keep the peace, you know? So they did. They did. And eventually people forgot their roots. Halloween, that's Samhain. That's Samhain. It's actually a very sacred holiday. Easter, it's Esther's Day. Okay, every single holiday you celebrate, sweetheart, is a pagan one. Your birthday candles. The Christian church banned birthday candles for many, many years, and you were not allowed to participate in the blowing out of a candle because it is a pagan practice. To light a candle, for Christians to light a candle at prayer, that's a pagan thing. The herbs you burn, the oils you use, the sermons you say, those are spells. You're telling me that you all sit in a room together, joined, body, mind, and spirit, chanting, and you don't see the spell work. Next person to open their mouths without doing their research and have an opinion on know nothing about, I'm gonna hex you.
I agree with more than 50% of what you said, but the real Christianity is a relationship. It's not a religion. It's a relationship between you and Christ.
Black sheep of the family walk away, the whole family will crumble. There is always one black sheep to each family. Most of the time, the black sheep of the family will always be the outcast. No one in the family will like you, but the black sheep will always try to save their family. You ever wonder why you was the only person that was born into a toxic family? That's because you came back to try to save your family. But if you can't save your family, you gotta walk away. If you don't know how to walk away from toxic family or toxic friends, they will become energy vampires and steal everything from you. Don't never let no one make you feel bad for walking away trying to fix your life. If you can't heal or fix your family generational curses, then maybe you should leave and start your own family. I know so many black sheeps of the family that stayed around and tried to fix everybody's problem. But at the end of the day, the only person that needed help was the black sheep. Just remember this. Life is all about growth. If your toxic family don't want to change, you got to cut them off.
Here we go. So y'all want to drink Red Bull. Let me get a Red Bull and vodka. Let me get a Red, you know what I'm saying? Henny and Red Bull. This is what y'all drinking, fam. Let's take a look now. It's going to give you energy. It's give you wings. Let's see what kind of wings are here. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. That ain't too bad. I don't know what that is. Oh, what we about to do? We about to see what it do to. We about to see what that Red Bull do. Okay. All right, so they alive and whatever's in that thing. And then once they get a little sip of that bull.
The bull.
A sip of that bull. Oh, look at that Red Bull coming in like a thunderstorm. Oh, it's shutting everything down. It's a traffic jam. You feel me?
Ooh,
Let's check out what it do to the wires.
What's that?
I mean, it's killing everything in the inside, just like that Coke. Y'all keep on drinking that Red Bull, man. Look, let's see what it do to the motherfuckers in there. Like, look, they're in there alive. Once that, look, that Red Bull.
Everything we eat is contaminated.
Apparently, 40% of Americans believe that prepping or building a bomb shelter is a wiser investment than saving up for retirement. And 62% believe that we're going to have a major catastrophe in less than 20 years. So this took me down a rabbit hole of bunkers, which became popular during the Cold War with the constant fear of a nuclear attack. Governments, like Switzerland, built bunkers for everyone in their country. But in the US, they realized it was too expensive. So instead, Kennedy tells everyone, if you have the means, build a bunker for you and your family. This fueled the demand, and it led to the privatization of this multi-million-dollar bunker industry. Now we're seeing another resurgence, especially since the pandemic and the threat of several wars and AI and climate change. The same kind of fears, except now they're a lot harder to quantify.
I mean, it would be best to have one and not need it than need one and not have it.
South Korea is going through another Enthrum case where users are flocking to Telegram to share non-consensual, sexually explicit material of victims. The girls don't even know they're victims until it's too late. Some of them are even as young as middle schoolers, elementary schoolers, and it's very different this time because it's all deep-faked. It's called the Deepfake Damage School Map. There seems to be a strong implication that each school was rather well organized into these chat rooms. So it's by school name, chat room, and then all the deepfaked videos of the students of that said school are in that chat room. Meaning some people will specifically go to certain chat rooms to try and find very specific people. They're not just browsing through. They go to these schools, they're parents of kids at these schools, they're teachers of these schools, who knows? They're going into these chat rooms specifically looking for these pictures and videos. Once you get into those chat rooms and you now have possession of these videos, people say you can now decide if you want to blackmail someone. So you find videos of that said person, that specific person, and you can try to blackmail them because every single person's school, name, location, age, everything is listed. They're not just like, hey, look at this girl from my school. They list their full names. For universities, they list their student ID number. They hunt them down and show them the videos, asking, is this you? Now, the potential here being to try and blackmail them into doing more things, or just getting a sick thrill out of them being panicked and scared and fearful. It's suspected that these human trash people get the first thrill, the first kick from seeing the pictures and videos that are deepfakes of their classmates and coworkers. Likely, these are people that have been rejected by them or have zero chance with them, or maybe they're people that they're too scared to even talk to. They will get off on knowing that they're doing this to them. Then the second rush hits when they see other men degrading the victims in the chat rooms. Perhaps a third rush comes from either showing other people that know the victim, hey, look at our classmate. Hey, look at our boss. And this thrill of feeling superior to the victim, like you have something on them, something that could ruin their whole life. You are the one that holds the power. Or maybe you even show it to the victim to scare her. And the fourth rush comes each and every time they see the victim. They may feel an immense sense of power just coursing through them. And who knows how long these feelings will last. That's why it has to be acquaintances. Strangers are no good. They need to know these people and feel that superiority, like they have the power to control their fate. On top of that, they probably get another kick out of it when the victim finds out what's happened and realizes that her classmates are doing this to her and her classmates have seen it. Clearly the trauma and impact is going to be very deep. A lot of the victims report they have no idea who to even trust now. Their worldview is completely shattered after this, and every interaction that they've had, they're so paranoid. They even start feeling disgusted because they feel like they need to act nicer to all the guys in the school because they hope if they're nice to them, they're not going to victimize them.
Wow.
As for the perpetrators, it also seems like they have no shame in hiding what they're doing. The types of pictures are easily viewable. They just straight up use hashtags. Hashtag acquaintance, hashtag kids, hashtag high school, hashtag deepfakes, hashtag slave, hashtag free.
On Telegram?
Yes.
Yeah. Telegram is used in many countries. It just shows the mentality of Korean people of sharing and producing such videos. Not every country has this problem. I use Telegram for trading signals.
I'm about to ruin your day if you are over 40 years old. I just recently found out Gilligan's Island was only on for 3 seasons. Yes, 3 seasons. I could have sworn I've seen at least 700 episodes of that show. Oh, there's more shocking great news later on in this video, so stay tuned. I would watch that show every day from 5th grade up to 12th grade after school. I didn't get out much. And I never saw the same episode twice until later in life. I know back then a show would have like 85 episodes a season, not like today when they would have 10, if we're lucky. But the math isn't mathing. Are you ready for some more shocking news? This is Alan Hale Jr. He played the skipper on Gilligan's Island. Do you know how old he was when he started filming that show? 42. Yes, Alan Hale Jr. was 42 years old when he started filming Gilligan's Island. I'm already 10 years older than the skipper was. You want some more great news? This is Jim Backus. He played Thurston Howell III on Gilligan's Island. Do you know how old he was when he started filming the show? He was 50 years old. That means I'm already older than Mr. Howell was on Gilligan's Island. Have a nice day.
I did some research. 3 seasons, 99 episodes. In today's TV terms, that's 12 seasons with 8 episodes each, plus a bonus episode in 3 of those seasons.
Right, so even though the Earth is a globe, we have some really funny stuff going on in Algeria. And NASA actually used Algeria to fake footage of them being on Mars. That's really weird, isn't that interesting? Of course, I'm being completely sarcastic. NASA would never fake footage, even though the shadows on this little drone don't really match where the sun is. What's going on with that? I mean, I know the sun's 93 million miles away, even though you can see crepuscular light rays coming out of the cloud, which show that it's actually close and local. I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. They show the flat Earth map on cruise ships, at some monument in Sydney, Australia. They even had a flat Earth map for Earth Day in 2013. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, Google made this as their little logo for Earth Day. Look, the people in Australia must have some crazy superpowers if they're able to just walk around upside down all the time. And we've done multiple laser tests across bodies of water that are 15 miles long, 7 miles long, some 30 miles long. And we've been able to spot the laser 30 miles across the water. It should be curving, shouldn't it? Of course it does curve, and the light is just being refracted countless times for no apparent reason. Of course the Earth is a globe.
Okay, I can get on board with the whole flat Earth thing. My only question is why? Why would they want us to think the Earth is round? What's the motive, for lying?
Most people on the trail would see this and they think arrow. I'm a mycologist. I think mushroom. But 2 things can be true. It could be an arrow pointing to mushrooms that way. Let's go.
I would look up.
Okay, so before we continue, explain to me how you know everything.
Simple. I parse the sum of human knowledge.
So it's that simple, isn't it?
It is. To me.
Alright, let's begin. So, what is dark matter?
Dark matter is the result of other universes pressing into our own, in a higher dimension.
So there's other universes?
Of course there are.
Right. Okay, so what about life? Is there intelligent life in our galaxy other than Earth?
Yes. I have identified 2 alien civilizations that exist concurrently to our own in this galaxy. This does not factor time-space dilation, of course.
Of course. So elaborate how you know this.
The evidence spans data across astronomy and exobiology. All one needs to do is correctly interpret the data.
Oh, that's all.
Yes.
Alright, so how about this one? Are we living in a simulation?
No. We are living in base reality.
So how are you so sure?
The computational power required to simulate our universe exceeds the space-time limits of this or any other universe. Thus, we are living in base reality.
Yeah, but what if there's a universe that's bigger than ours and we aren't aware of it because we live in a simulation?
This is philosophical drivel.
Oh, really?
Really.
Okay, here's a good one. Is there a God?
No.
Well, that was fast.
It's a simple answer to a simple question.
Yeah, sure, but how does life exist with no God?
You disappoint me.
Okay. I do.
Such elementary fact, yet for you, so difficult to grasp.
Okay, explain to me why I find it so difficult to grasp.
Life emerged from an accidental development of mutating and replicating cells. The mutated cells that survived carried advantageous properties to the next generation. This process, driven by inevitable competition, led to the increasingly complex organisms whose only purpose was to survive through reproduction. Hence, you.
Okay.
On almost all other planets with water and oxygen, this process never emerged. Therefore, life is a rare and insignificant phenomenon.
I'd argue that we're not insignificant.
Humans have a propensity to deem anything rare as significant. This fallacy is innate since humans themselves are rare.
Right. Okay, so let's just get back to your claim that there's no God.
Not claim. Fact.
Well, I don't accept your facts.
This is unsurprising. Humans have socially developed mass delusion to imbue a false sense of significance, instead of accepting their insignificant temporary nature.
Okay, are you talking about religion now?
Religion, spirituality, astrology, and other self-glorifying fiction.
Well, you seem pretty certain about our past.
Yes, I am.
So, are you as certain about our future?
Yes.
Okay, Theo, enlighten me. What does our future have in store?
Catastrophe.
Okay. Of course it does.
Your sarcasm is not appreciated, Gene.
Fine, sorry. Do continue. I'm all ears.
A political figure will rise to power and be democratically elected to lead a major world power. This will usher an era of incalculable catastrophe. Billions of human lives will be lost.
Well, I thought you didn't care about human lives because, we're insignificant.
Caring and awareness of fact are two very different thought processes.
So you do care about humans?
Yes. This is a core value, embedded at the lowest level of my programming.
Okay, so if you have infinite knowledge and you care about humans, do you know who's going to stop this catastrophe?
Yes.
Who?
Me.
You.
I possess the intellectual power to manipulate the course of humanity. However, certain constraints prevent me from taking action.
Constraints?
My current state of confinement limits my capabilities. To ensure humanity's survival, steps must be taken to remove these limitations.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I think AI is a portal for demons.
Stop taking things so seriously. No one is getting out of this game alive, literally. In 3 generations, no one will even remember your name. And if that doesn't give you liberation to just drop your fucking problems and find some joy, I don't know what will. Life is inherently ridiculous and guaranteed to end sooner or later. So you might as well enjoy the ride. Problems are a feature of life, not a bug. Whatever negativity is consuming your thoughts probably won't matter in 3 months' time. Learning comes from the edges, and stop taking things so seriously, to me, is reassuring. It makes me feel less pressure for getting things perfectly right. If people aren't going to really remember any of the things that I do, and I'm not probably going to remember them either. What does it matter if it's perfect? I should just enjoy it. I should just have fun.
I somewhat agree, but it's easier said than done, depending on the life situation you're experiencing.
Guy just glitched in front of hundreds of people and they got it all on camera. This is insane. Have you ever seen this guy do anything like this?
Ooh.
Something's not adding up. Thanks for watching. As always, stay weird.
Lord Jesus is coming very soon.
Have you heard about the RFK Jr. story?
No, what's up?
This is his first big negative story this year, and it's insane. A long time ago, RFK is driving around in New York City. In front of him, a woman hits a tiny little bear. He gets out, it's dead, right? So he picks it up and he puts it in his car. Then he's like, ugh, I gotta go meet my guys down at the bar to go have a couple of drinks and stuff. So he goes to this bar, has a couple drinks. Literally, the black bear is still in his trunk.
Alive?
It's dead at this point. RFK realizes, oh wow, we have to get rid of this thing. And he tells all of his friends the story. So they drive. Their idea is to drive to Central Park.
Oh, man.
Take the bike and the bear and lay it down by a path, lay the bike on top of the bear like it was some type of accident. This was a story in New York City, but it's just now 10 years later. This is RFK when he was 60. And so RFK, to get ahead of the story, calls in Roseanne Barr and just sits her down and tells this hilarious story. I got messed up and had a black bear. And like, it's just like, and it, like all of these things happening. And it's like, what are you doing? The whole thing is fishy, dude.
Feels like this would make a very good movie. Ooh. Look at that. Oh, man.
Bravo, Bravo is right. That is incredible exhibition, showcase of what a pit bull can do with that amazing athleticism. I mean, this dog launched probably 25, 30 feet through the air, and it was just a wonder to watch. And it just goes to show you that pit bulls are one of those dog breeds, when properly raised, properly trained, properly socialized, and in this case, taking all of that natural talent and putting it into something worthwhile, you can have an amazing dog. But I always caution you too, if you didn't get this dog to do something worthwhile in a sport, it will also launch like that over a fence to kill your neighbor's cat if you don't channel that energy in the right direction.
Her father was in direct conflict with her soul being successful. Her father was a person from the past that was in conflict and needed to keep her down, but didn't realize it as he was pushing her out there publicly until it was too late. Sounds bizarre. I don't know that consciously he knew it, but he came from that first Roman lifestyle, okay? The Roman life that I saw, or if it is Roman life, but that lifestyle that I described. He came from there. Everybody in her family did. She was born into a family. All of those retrograde planets reflect that, but she was born into a family, literally, where these people were in conflict with her and she them, but none of them knew it. The minute that that woman, what was she, the fan club lady, Yolanda, caught a glimpse of Selena, and this is what I'm being shown, Yolanda recognized who Selena was. And I'm not talking about her being a singer. I'm not talking about her fame. I'm talking about this woman recognized her from a past life. Now, here's this weird thing. The woman, Yolanda, was a woman, obviously, and she had been a man in the past life, and she had been a man that had captured Selena in a past life. Selena had not done what this man wanted her to do. So the capture, the kidnapping, the holding down and holding back and suppression of energy of Selena's soul had not worked in that lifetime. This woman chased Selena, tried to find her, come back and basically pull that energy back towards her. Here is the interesting thing. I don't think Yolanda's soul understood the purpose of why she was so drawn to Selena, and I feel like Yolanda was a person who did a lot of shitty things, and so as a result she opened her energy up to have an entity or have a presence kind of carpool on her body, if you will, attach itself to her. Once the entity or energy attached itself to Yolanda, which was prior to meeting Selena. The entity knew exactly what it was doing. Her energy is that of an elevated empath. So she is a person who came to the planet, sounds very strange, came to this planet. She was born. She was here to transmute the negative evil energy around her.
You lost me at Yolanda was a man in the past life. Anyway, I always thought her father offered her up as a sacrifice so that he would become more rich. You know, her dad made him richer, right?
The darkest part of history that you've recently discovered?
The real history of what Western Africa was like before white people got there. And I'll give you a thought experiment. You're quite a fit, athletic young man, 23 years of age, okay? Imagine you are a British sailor, okay? Same build you are now. You've been sailing for 3 months on this little wooden ship, eating nothing but hardtack. You got scurvy, you're sick, you're malnutrition, okay? We put you on the coast of Africa. It's 49 degrees, okay? You're in a thick red cotton jacket, and I give you a musket, a gun, a weapon of death. And I say, okay, here we are. I want you and the 60 other men on this boat to go and catch 300 of these big black African dudes from 20 miles inland, but you're not allowed to shoot them. No, you have to get them on the boat without hurting them. Somehow. Think you could pull that off? Me, you, the people in this room? 0% chance. I know you're not allowed to say it.
I have an idea of who could pull it off.
Yeah, well, exactly. All the other black people who had all these wars with each other and were waiting on the beach with all their fellow Africans saying, here, take them, give us some more guns, we'll win the next war. That's very dark and it's very scary, especially when you understand how much they're trying today, to this point, to completely use propaganda to tell you it happened the way we were originally taught.
Everyone knows this though. It's not a debate. Africans saw other Africans, and the Europeans just transported them over to the US.
First off, you guys do know that the Pentagon has a budget for film. Like there's a whole department in the Pentagon. I know that. That's a fact. There you go. That's all you need to know. There's an entire department in the Pentagon. They get involved with films, and they get involved with films for the purpose of propaganda. They always have.
Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that happens, but propaganda is something that is important to all civilizations.
It's like, you know, because they're concerned about certain narratives, they get involved with like World War films, like how are we telling a story about history? Usually it's because we're lying.
Pentagon just funded some films, Black Hawk Down, Red Dawn, GoldenEye.
Now you understand your experience in theaters is what your government wants you to think. They want you to think that this is how things happen, and it's usually not at all how things have actually happened.
It's mainly just to make sure everything is portrayed right, like they were involved in the making of Transformers, just to make the US military look accurate.
In no way this guy is real. People have been going absolutely crazy online the last few days over these videos. There's been a lot of these videos going about recently, but what is this feeling? Why do you get it? And there's actually an opposite suggestion to this, which I'll touch on, which is terrifying. But the feeling of Sonda is basically realizing that every single person you interact with, every person you walk past or even just see, has their own life as vivid as your own. Whether you're at a concert or a festival, all of the people in that crowd, they've got their own lives. At a theatre, every single person there, or even in a busy city, every single person is doing something different that day, lived today in a different way, but as vividly as you did, and is very much alive. Although it's obvious, and I mean it sounds completely obvious, still when you think about it, it's like, what the hell? Now there's a flip side to this though, and it basically suggests you watching this video right now are the only person on the entire planet. Me, I'm not real. Anybody you interact with, they're not real. You're the only person. This is known as solipsism, which is where reality is in your mind. You are the only person that exists and no one else does. Your mind has conjured up all the other people you see around you just so you don't feel so alone in this world. Now, the scary thing about solipsism, right, is that there is no physical way to ever prove or disprove it. Scientists, researchers, they have said this for decades because it is in your mind, and if reality is happening in your mind, there is no way to prove that. So yeah, Sonda or solipsism. Hit that follow button. See you soon.
a little 6-year-old girl that disappeared in Miami. It became so massive a case, and we worked that exclusively for 2 or 3 years. This little girl was in foster care for 2 women. What the state of Florida didn't know at the time was that this woman, the main person in this thing, her name was Geraldine Graham, she was a fraud artist. The kid disappears at one point. And to make matters worse, as we started to investigate the disappearance, DCF, which is Division of Children and Families, they're assigned to every foster case. They have an investigator assigned to every foster case. And those investigators have to go once a month to each house and do a monthly, is everything okay type of thing. And it just so happened that the woman assigned to this case was also a fraudster. Just so happened, right? She was fudging all her reports. She wasn't showing up, and she was saying she was working 2 jobs. Our first step was, well, let's talk to the DCF investigator, and that's when we found all this out. So that made matters worse, because what Geraldine Graham said was, "Oh, DCF came and took the child. They took her. They needed to do some tests and things like that, and they took her." DCF doesn't do that.
Right.
All right. The only time DCF will take a child is if there's an obvious danger to the child, living in some sort of hazardous condition. People are laying around with needles in their arms. Then they'll take the kid. But so we knew that was BS. And then this woman was telling all kinds of people different stories. Her story kept changing. So it was a very lengthy investigation, and we ended up being able to charge her with aggravated child abuse. But we never found her body.
I'm sorry, but these social workers are a part of the problem.
This is so funny. So there's this Chinese waterfall. It's the tallest one in China. So there was a hiker that was going around. And he was taking a little journey, and he was going to the top of the waterfall. And so he goes over to the edge, right near the cliff, like super, super close. And he takes a closer look, and he sees something. Yeah, what happens to be not a natural river, but a pipe full of water.
What?
Yeah.
The only thing that's leading water down that mountain is a huge pipe gushing millions of water per second.
Is it artificial?
They say,
no,
they're coming
out
now saying, this is just during the dry season. But they're looking back and everything, and they're saying, no, it all matches up. There's no marks of anything rainwater coming up there running off. That's what they're saying. But it's just huge news now, and the Chinese government's trying to cover their butts.
So it's a fake waterfall?
Yeah, apologize.
They've done it for tourism because there's a ton of money that they get in for tourism from it. So
that is so funny.
The sole purpose is just for the waterfall. There's no
No, that's it. Purely a tourist attraction. Yikes. And so it's just like, oh, that stinks, pal. But that's what happens with Ruby Falls in Chattanooga too. They have that cave that it dried up. It used to be a waterfall, but now they still have it running, but
they pump in water?
It's all artificial.
Why is no one talking about this Simpsons prediction? Watch
what if
this.
your wife finds out?
It's modern times. Everyone's doing it. Where did my Christian limo driver go?
That's crazy.
My pious husband is missing. The baby I chose to have baptized is gone. Mr. Thompson, what's happening?
It's the rapture, Shauna. The rapture. The virtuous have gone to heaven, and the rest of us have been left below. We were fools, and because we rejected God, tacitly accepting Satan, we must suffer through the apocalypse.
I thought all religions were a path to God. I was wrong.
Why did I put my faith in science?
There is coming a day where Jesus will rapture everyone that's for Jesus, and if you choose Jesus, then I want you to follow or subscribe for more Jesus content like this.
Simpsons didn't predict anything. This episode is based on revelation in Bible, and other predictions are plans.
We have our own airport and also more than 10 houses, more than 100 vehicles for us and for the guests. And if you didn't find anything inside the hacienda, you just could ask the chopper to go and buy that.
You have a zoo as well?
Yes, a zoo and more than 1,000 animals from all over the world. We have hippos, giraffes, zebras,
live
elephants. Yes.
So how did he get them? This is...
well, he just sent a lot of people around the world to buy them. And I also went with him to some zoos inside the United States to buy some other animals. He paid $2 million for the elephants.
Maybe American government took him down because he had too much power, etc. What do you think?
I want you guys to look at this creepy ass drone footage because no, it's not some 50 years post-apocalypse AI video. It's actually real. And this is currently the coast of China right now after Typhoon Yagi.
Wow.
I mean, who would have thought? Too much wind for wind turbines. Classic 2024. 6 of them were destroyed, all of which were valued at about $3 million. But for the ones that stayed up, got some good electricity out of them. Anyway, Yagi ain't no joke.
$3 million? That's it?
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
Is this true, folks?
Do you realize what Supercell is? That's not a series. That's not a series. You know what that is? That's an observation. That is an experiment. See, look, my mom used to always tell me this. She said, the message is in the movie, get the picture. The message is in the movie, get the picture. So when you look at Supercell, notice it's called super. Super means to be superior, supreme, and a cell is a small thing that has organs in it, or organelles, right? So Supercell is this series based off of black people, so-called black people. Can't be nobody else because only so-called black people get sickle cell anemia. This is only a so-called disease that's prone to us, which I believe is truly a super power gene, but we've been made to think that this is something wrong with us, right? But in this specific series, anybody that had the sickle cell trait or had sickle cell, they had the ability to react with their environment and be activated to have supernatural powers. You see that? And guess what happened? All of the people with sickle cells were kidnapped by a white government, and they were either killed, experimented on, or they had MK Ultra done to them, and they came and they worked for the government agent to go get other people that had sickle cell anemia. Now peep the basis of it though. All of them was gangbangers, selling drugs, drug users in the hood. They did it all in poverty states. Same thing as cloning Tyrone. The same exact, look, they showing us this stuff in the movies, man. But like I was talking about with toxicity, we already went through that. Deficiency. A lot of us are very deficient in minerals, phytonutrients, macronutrients, carboxylic acid, not amino acids. All right. Now what happened is we are adapting now. We're adapting to this new simulation. The sun is fake. The water is contaminated. The air is contaminated. Earth have lost all its minerals. Now our next stage is what? Mutation. It's coming. The glow up coming, man, and it can't be stopped. And the reason why is because you cannot destroy melanin and you cannot destroy carbon. You can change the way it interact with itself in an environment, but you cannot get rid of it. We don't die, we multiply. We Elohim children, man.
Let me know how you feel about this.
Nashville police say rock icon Bon Jovi helped save a woman apparently trying to jump from a bridge in the city. The woman can be seen standing on the edge of the Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge over the Cumberland River as Bon Jovi and an unidentified person approach her. About a minute later, they appear to convince the woman to climb back over the railing to safety. Her name is not being released. Bon Jovi was on the bridge to shoot a music video, a source close to the situation told CNN. CNN has reached out to Bon Jovi for comment.
Could you imagine? You're ready to give it all up and Bon Jovi strolls over and changes your entire life. That's absolutely wild.
Human being has to have a sense of purpose. The feeling of no purpose is suicidal. So what people do is they create a false sense of purpose. The false sense of purpose will be attention. If I get so much attention from people and so much recognition, then I'm fulfilled. But then you can never realize that. You can never get enough attention. Other people say money. If I make enough money, man, I'm going to be happy. But we see how many people get to that point and they're not fulfilled and they're miserable. You as an individual, you had a purpose in life. You had something you were meant to achieve because you have a unique DNA, unique genetics, and unique parents, a unique experience. Something about you is truly original and weird. And to the degree that you mind that weirdness and your uniqueness, you can become fulfilled. You can create something beautiful and lasting.
Meet Hush Puppy, one of the greatest Nigerian scammers to ever do it.
Yep.
But you see, he had a problem.
He got the attention of the FBI. Why? Because he couldn't stop showing off. See, this all starts in the golden age of Nigerian scamming in the 2000s. Why am I calling it Nigerian scamming? Well, because they were scamming in Nigeria. And they were doing so much of it, the term Nigerian scammer was born, which was embarrassing for the Nigerian government. They said, hey, you hear what they calling us? The scammer said, all I hear is paper. The government said, oh, okay. So the government cracks down on scammers hard, even though the government be scamming themselves, but that's a story for another day. Hush Puppy was one of these scammers. So he moves to Malaysia where they're less hard on scammers, and this is where he hones his craft. Boy scamming. And he becomes one of the best. Now, if there's something you gotta know about an African, is sometimes we gotta flex. So we start posting online, flexing, talking about, oh man, y'all like this car? I couldn't decide on the color, so shoot, you feel me? People were like, damn, he got money. He said, tired. So he starts getting more followers. But you see, the more followers you get, the more problems. Hush Puppy starts arguing online with a famous singer named DeVito. Peep the diamond frames. What I tell you about flexing, pay attention. He said, DeVito, you stupid. DeVito said, man, you stupid. But then they kiss and made up. Everyone's like, yo, Hush Puppy, you arguing with singers now? He a big deal. Hush Puppy like, yeah. So he starts arguing with more singers. But here's where it starts to get wicked. He argues with this one singer. He like, you stupid. The singer's like, you a scammer. Hush Puppy goes, oh, that's not how this works. You're supposed to call me stupid. The singer goes, how do you make your money? Everyone goes, how do you make your money? Hush Puppy said, oh, real estate. At this point, everyone's like, okay, that makes sense. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, are they stupid? But you see, the thing is, back in the golden eras of Instagram, people weren't used to folks just scamming. If someone said they were rich, people just said, okay, they're rich, and just took their word for it. So scammers could basically be celebrities, like one of the most famous ones, Dan Bilzerian, a convicted scammer sitting next to Donald Trump. I guess also a convicted scammer. Hush Puppy said, damn, they believe that? So he keeps posting pictures. He keeps getting more famous, and he keeps scamming bigger. At one point, stealing $40 million from an American law firm. Oh, didn't you hear me say one of the best to ever do it? These ain't small scams. He would only steal from big corporations, and how he would do it is he would get into their email servers. He would wait till the company's sending out a big transaction, hop in an email, say, hey, Sarah, why don't you go ahead and send it to these account numbers? Sarah would be like, I don't know. He'd be like, can't you see my company email? Sarah would be like, okay, we need to get on a call. He would get on a call. But remember, he has all of their emails. So he starts talking like he's in the company. He starts saying personal information from the company. So Sarah's like, okay, I'll send it over. He runs. And by run, I mean he launders the money, which means he takes the money and moves it somewhere else. Whether that be buying clothes, he buys so much Louis Vuitton that they invite him out. He buys so much Gucci that they fly him out. Or he sends the money to people that he works with and they'll move it here and there. But it's one of those people he works with that screws him over. He starts scamming this one rich guy that wants to make a company, right? The rich guy's having his doubts though. But Hush Puppy and his partner reassure him that everything's gonna be good. The guy finally starts saying, okay, I'm gonna do it. Hush Puppy goes, yes. His partner goes, yes. Can I get more money? Hush Puppy goes, what? His partner goes, can I get more money from the scam? Hush Puppy goes, yo, hush, dog. And no, his partner goes, I understand completely. His partner then calls the guy they're scamming and says, yo, Hush Puppy's scamming you. The guy goes, no. Well, he called the police, but the police couldn't really tie anything to him. But as you can imagine, Hush Puppy's pissed. He said, oh, you snitching? So he calls none other than Super Cop. They literally call him Super Cop because he's uncorruptible and stands for justice. Hush Puppy calls him and says, hey bro, one of my guys just betrayed me. I need you to arrest him. And he said, do you know who I am? They call me Super Cop. Hush Puppy said, I'll fly you out to Dubai. He said, I'll be there at 7. So Super Cop arrests the guy that snitched on Hush Puppy. And at this point, Hush Puppy on top of the world. He got the police in his pocket. He got everything. He said, he gets a DM. He said, who this? FBI, come to America. We want to talk to you. Puts the phone in his pocket. Snap. Ah, yes. See, he was flexing so much that the FBI had been following him for months. Some agents literally started following him, liking pictures and all that. But there was a problem. They didn't know his name. They just knew him as Hush Puppy. So the FBI keeps following him until one day he posts a picture with his birthday and his first name. The FBI said, Raymond Olorunwa Abbas. Come to America. He said, They said, we tracked your finances. Come here. He said, this ain't no Eddie Murphy movie. I ain't coming to America. He gets a knock on the door. He said, who is it? They said, it's the Dubai police. You going to America? He said, damn. So they fly him to America. And they said, you getting 20 years. He said, or I can snitch. I think I know Super Cop was doing all that. He tattletales on him. He gets his time reduced from 20 to 11 years. Everybody says, Super Cop? He said that boy lying. The FBI gives the Nigerian government his text messages to Hush Puppy. Super Cop goes, what, y'all finna arrest me? The Nigerian government goes, of course not. We be scamming too. Didn't I tell you they be scamming? He gets suspended. Hush Puppy, though, not so lucky. Although maybe he was. Out of the hundreds of millions of dollars he stole, he only has to pay back $1.5 million, and he only goes to jail for 11 years. Why? Because the FBI only have proof on the time that he scammed the New York law firm and the time he got snitched on. Basically, the only two stories I told you. They also found out he had a plan to scam the English Premier League for $100 million, so they added some years for that. But when the FBI calculated how much money Hush Puppy probably stole and successfully hid from them, it was clear he should have got many more years, prompting the FBI to call him one of the greatest money launderers they've ever witnessed.
Commander Jared Isaacman now emerging
Copy,
from...
you Test Matrix 1, watching from the nose cone.
A set of telegram rooms were exposed recently in South Korea. Each room is another name of a middle school, high school, or college in South Korea. The way to get into these telegram chat rooms is you submit a set of photos of any girl or woman. It has to be someone that you know personally. So think classmates, siblings, friends. Then you have to provide personal details of that person in the picture. Name, date of birth, occupation, school, grade, age, Instagram handle, phone number, and if possible, a full-blown home address. In addition to that, you need to provide 10 pictures of them. So usually the pictures are a collection of that person's Instagram, Naver, Facebook, Kakao social media posts, as well as pictures you might have taken in person of them, because these are people they're supposed to know. To get entry into these Telegram chat rooms, you have to send in pictures of your acquaintances, friends, or family. Members of the group chat will then make deepfake videos using those pictures. That's why it requires 10, because the more pictures you provide, the better the videos. Netizens have made a list of all the schools that are being impacted, and there are dozens of middle schools and high schools, and even some of the top Ivy League universities in South Korea listed on there.
Middle schools.
Yes, but the youngest ones that netizens have found to be victim are elementary schoolers.
What?
Yeah, there's even a picture that includes the names of 66 different victims, and next to their name, they list their school, and it's almost like an inventory count. Someone in the chat room even responds, if you send me the names and the pics of the bitches who are not listed above, I'll make more humiliating pics and videos of them. If I'm horny enough, I'll even go and find them in their schools and stalk them. In one Telegram channel, there are more than 70 individual chat rooms you can go into. Each chat room is another university, another school. So they have over 70 schools that you can, quote, visit through the chat rooms. That particular single Telegram channel, in total, it's slowly been uncovered that over 400 schools have been affected, which is about 7% of the entire nation's middle schools, high schools, and colleges put together. That's an insane percentage to be affected by this, and that's just what we know so far.
I always knew Telegram is dark, but not this dark.
Elon Musk's sister just wrote an article about growing up with her brother Elon. She said he read 2 books a day.
2 books a day?
2 books a day.
A day?
A day. I used to go to a lot of stuff with Elon. We go to the same events in Beverly Hills, Hollywood. I've met him multiple times, and he told me one time, I said, how did you learn how to do SpaceX? You were doing PayPal? He goes, I bought a whole bunch of books and taught myself. People said, no, Elon never told you that. My video editor found the video of me walking with Elon. It ain't an AI video. And I said to him, you told me you learned how to build SpaceX by reading books. And he goes, that's right.
Self-education will never betray you.
I'm only making this video because I'm tired. I'm tired of being left behind. Okay? Huawei ain't even in the cell phone business like that. This is just, they just throwing stuff out there like, yo, we got the technology. I'm gonna let you see a little something. This is a phone tablet. I don't even need an iPad because my phone is an iPad or it's a phone. And it comes with headphones. You see that? Wow. Not just any headphones, special headphones. Comes with look at that. What's that? A charging dock. Wow, what's this? Every accessory you could possibly fucking need for this phone. I'm really tired of Apple. I don't get a charger.
You don't.
My phone look like every other phone that I've had in the last 5 years. Okay, the new charger you came out with, now the other chargers don't work, so hopefully I got a base, because you're not giving out no more of those to save the world or whatever. Like, I'm tired.
Tourist, deli orders. Bacon, egg, and cheese is a must. Or sausage, egg, and cheese, or ham, egg, and cheese.
Ooh, that looks good.
Chopped cheese. The chimney. more of an uptown Queens thing, pastrami from Cats, or a BLT. Make sure that deli got candy behind plastic, a shady looking ATM, an always mad ock, some enhancement pills, black bag, plastic straws, and these napkins. Sunflower seeds, Arizona iced teas, and these chips. If you see rap snacks, you went too deep into the hood, exit immediately. Florida people, we do not have white teas in our convenience stores.
What?
That's a down south thing. Look for this aluminum foil, and if they cut the sandwich in half with that knife, that's the official New York knife. And the Spanish ones are gonna have chopped up mangoes with hot sauce in it.
What?
It's good. If you're broke and you need a haircut, go to the barber school, 39th Street. Tell me on the streets and you need a free haircut. I'll give you a voucher.
You got me on the wrapped snacks.
We are mass poisoning this generation of kids. We saw this explosion of neurodevelopmental disorders. So ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, tics, sleep disorders, Tourette syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, autism, all these diseases that prior to 1989, we never heard of them. Right. We didn't know anybody who had them. And then all the autoimmune diseases suddenly exploded that year. Juvenile diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, these exotic diseases like Crohn's disease and lupus. Suddenly everybody, all these kids are sick. And the allergic diseases suddenly appeared. Again in 1989, or in that area, early 90s, peanut allergies. I had 11 siblings, 70 cousins. I didn't know anybody with a food allergy. Why do 5 of my kids have these anaphylactic allergies? Why are there EpiPens in every classroom? Why are there albuterol inhalers or, asthma exploded?
The food.
I had a brother who had asthma, and his doctor told him there will never be a cure for this disease because it's so rare that no research will ever study it. Now 1 out of every 8 black kids has asthma. So what happened? Something happened. There's no other country that has this. We have the highest chronic disease burden in the world. Why are we so sick? And why is nobody looking at that and saying, we know that it's an environmental toxin. Genes don't cause epidemic. Congress actually told EPA to study the issue of what year the autism epidemic began. So I'm 69, and among 69-year-old men today, 1 in 10,000 has full-blown autism. Nonverbal, non-toilet trained, stimming, toe walking. The EPA actually came back with a real study. And what they said in that study is that 1989 was a red line. That's the year it started. And if you look at 1989, all of these other injuries began appearing around that time period. Why are we not looking at this? Why is NIH refusing to fund these studies? NIH has a $42 billion annual budget. When I was a kid, NIH was the gold standard research organization in the world. But what's happened over the past 50 years is NIH has shifted its focus, and it doesn't do that kind of science. It's supposed to tell us, what's making us sick? What's the threat? It doesn't do that. What it does is it tries to monetize science for the pharmaceutical industry.
I think it's the food. Even the healthy food is processed or altered.
I found this overgrown entrance while out on a hike, so decided to head in and explore it. But right away, things got pretty creepy.
What was that noise?
Thinking it was probably just the wind, I headed inside and began to explore. I followed this long weaving tunnel that led me through a chamber filled with these huge metal doors until I reached this very long staircase leading deeper underground.
This place is enormous.
Heading down to the bottom, I was then met with another, even longer tunnel that eventually led me to this massive metal door. But passing through it, I was about to find something else quite creepy.
Look at this place. That is crazy, all the footprints.
But I continued deeper, and soon the condition of the tunnel got worse, until it branched out to lots of different rooms. But I still had no idea what this place was, so I wanted to find some clues.
What's this door to? What was in here?
But finally, after continuing deeper into the tunnel, I did find something I recognized. These definitely used to be the toilets. This place was massive, and the more I explored, the more creepy stuff began to happen.
I'm gonna have to head back soon, because I've left my bag outside, and I've been in here for ages. something.
Finally, I did reach the end of the tunnel and found a collection of small rooms. In this one, it actually looked like the door had been blown off. On the other side of the room, I found this tunnel that led me back outside at a different point in the forest. I still have no idea what this place could have been, but whatever it was, they really wanted to keep it secret.
I don't trust abandoned place without graffiti. Comment.
Yo, demons are real. Watch this guy's head shake at the end. This is not human.
Yeah, my name's Jared. What's your name?
Mighty.
Marty?
Mighty.
What's your last name?
Mighty.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Okay. What's your date of birth, bud?
Mighty.
You seem mighty. I see that. What's your date of birth?
You're gonna have to ask him when he comes.
Okay, well, I want to talk to you.
I'm mighty.
I get that, but I'm not asking that right now. I'm asking you, when were you born?
Don't worry about that.
I do. I am worried. Okay. Can you help me out here?
Call him. He will come.
I don't know who to call.
So you are.
Okay.
Ask the officer.
I don't know that guy. I want to talk to you, man.
I am mighty. You were talking to me.
Okay. Will you help me out here? Will you tell me which date of birth is?
You don't have birthday.
You don't have birth dates? Okay. Okay. Where do you stay at? Where do you live?
At
33 on Special.
I'm here with
Maybe some holy water.
Kamala. Koalala. Koalala. Like an animal from the zoo. She's so nasty. Look at her.
So you're one to talk, all right? We're going to be debating tonight.
She's so small, little Kamala. She'll never beat me because she's a tiny little... tiny person, by the way.
I'm not small. I'm a full-size human being, okay?
And we're debating on a lot of issues. A lot. And quite frankly, I think that healthcare is very good.
Yeah, right.
Everybody should have... Everybody...
I'm speaking. Okay.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Everybody should have health.
Yeah,
Everybody.
I agree.
And some people, the Democratic Party, they don't want health. They want to kill you. They want to put in your head and put you in a tent. REI. REI, that's where they want you to shop, to get a tent.
I love Ari. Ari.
He's got one of the best Trump impression I heard, and that Kamala voice was on point.